Hello, dear viewers. Today, we will take you on a journey that pushes boundaries and boggles the mind. Before you is the incredible story of a man who has built his own body into a shield against deadly snake venom. He faced death countless times, suffered, but never gave up. So was this just madness or a promising scientific sacrifice for humanity? Get ready, because this story will deeply affect you. Every year, tens of thousands of people around the world are attacked by venomous snakes. These bites cause severe pain, permanent disabilities, and unfortunately, often death. According to the World Health Organization, these silent killers claim tens of thousands of lives each year. This situation is even more dire in developing countries, in regions where access to adequate medical care is limited. So what is our most important weapon against this deadly threat? Of course, antivenoms. However, antivenom production is a complex, costly, and time-consuming process. Moreover, since the venom of each snake species has a different structure, it is usually necessary to produce species-specific antivenoms. This complicates treatment in cases where the type of snake that bit the person is unknown. Snake venom attacks our body's vital systems with the complex toxins it contains. It can paralyze the nervous system, disrupt blood circulation, and destroy tissues. It is precisely at this point that the extraordinary story of our hero, Tim Friede, begins. Meet Tim Friede, an ordinary man with an extraordinary curiosity and courage within him. So what drove him down this dangerous path? Friede had set his mind on finding a solution to the tragedy of fatal snake bites by personally experiencing their deadly effects. At the core of his motivation was the desire to help people who lost their lives to snake bites. Perhaps it was scientific curiosity, or perhaps the desire to benefit humanity. Whatever the reason, Friede decided to make his own body a test subject. Of course, his family and friends were greatly shocked and worried when they first heard this decision. It was incomprehensible that a person would repeatedly put themselves in mortal danger. The ethical and moral dimensions were also open to debate. How right was it for a person to risk their own life so much for a scientific purpose? But Friede was determined. The first snake bites, the terrifying reactions his body had at those moments, unbearable pain, shortness of breath, vomiting. Despite all this, he did not give up on his goal. We want to emphasize again here. What Tim Friede did is an extremely dangerous act and should definitely not be attempted. Over the years, Tim Friede was bitten hundreds of times by venomous snakes, and countless times venom was injected into his body. The deadly neurotoxins of cobras, the tissue-destroying venoms of vipers, the fast-acting venoms of mambas. He was like a venom collector. It is difficult to even imagine the physical pain he experienced during these experiments. Each bite meant a struggle for survival, but each time he grew stronger, observing how his body developed a defense mechanism against the venom. The frequency of bites and the amounts of venom injected increased over time. His body was slowly beginning to build resistance against this constant attack. This extraordinary situation of Tim Friede gradually began to attract the attention of the scientific world. Initially seen as madness, these actions took on a different dimension when their potential scientific benefits were realized. Famous toxicologists and immunologists contacted Friede, wanting to examine his blood samples. The first laboratory analyses revealed an incredible truth. Tim Friede's blood contained special antibodies that could neutralize different snake venoms. These antibodies had unique structures not found in normal humans. Scientists were astonished and excited. This could be a giant step towards developing a universal antivenom. So how did these miraculous antibodies work? Friede's body had developed a defense mechanism against the snake venom it was constantly exposed to. The immune system recognized the toxins in the venom as foreign substances and secreted specially produced antibodies against them. However, the antibodies formed in Friede's case were not only effective against a specific snake species, but also against the venoms of different species. This showed that their structure and mechanism of action were different from other antibodies. They could fit into the locks of different venoms like a key. Scientists began intensive work to unravel the secret of these antibodies and produce them in the laboratory environment. The antibodies obtained from Tim Friede's blood yielded promising results in the laboratory. In tests conducted on mice and other experimental animals, these antibodies were shown to successfully neutralize deadly snake venoms. These experiments brought the dream of developing a universal antivenom one step closer to reality. Scientists continue to conduct more comprehensive research to understand whether these antibodies have the same effect in humans. Experts believe that this discovery could be a groundbreaking development for snakebite victims. However, this extraordinary journey of Tim Friede also brought significant ethical debates. How right was it for a person to risk their own life so greatly for a scientific purpose? How should society evaluate such a sacrifice? Some see it as great courage and sacrifice, while others describe it as irresponsible and dangerous behavior. Of course, Friede's health problems and long-term potential risks should not be ignored either. It is not yet known what the consequences of his body being exposed to so much venom will be in the years to come. We would like to reiterate and emphasize that what Tim Friede did is an extremely dangerous act that should definitely not be imitated. Scientific research should be conducted within controlled and ethical boundaries. The incredible story of Tim Friede has ignited an unexpected ray of hope in finding a solution to a significant health problem facing humanity. The antibodies obtained through his courage and sacrifice could pave the way for the development of a universal antivenom that could save thousands of lives in the future. Perhaps one man's extraordinary efforts will earn an unforgettable place in the history of medicine and help make snakebites no longer a deadly threat. This story shows us once again the great results that human determination, belief in science, and sacrifice can yield. Dear viewers, please feel free to share your thoughts on Tim Friede's incredible and dangerous journey in the comments section.
Thanks for watching.
If you liked this video, please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. This way, you can be the first to know about similar, interesting, and scientific content. See you in our next video. Stay healthy.